Hey traders, Jamie Setley here. It is Saturday, January 24th. I'd like to revisit recent history and take a look at the euro-yen. If you remember, at the end of December, we were actually shorting up here on this upper parallel and ended up getting out at the median line about 142.50. Unfortunately, I guess, because since then the market has absolutely tanked. Another 1,000+ points. So yes, in hindsight, would have been great to stay in the trade. We got out thinking we'd get some consolidation, and get a chance to re-short, if you will. So in hindsight, that was a mistake, but let's learn from it, move on. I want to show you the slope here. I did touch on this, I think, in the webinar on Wednesday, but when you have a pitchfork like this and the market really starts to break down through the lower parallel, you don't have to rely, obviously, just on the median line and the lower and upper parallels. What you do is you can draw parallel slope lines to this construct, extend it off of recent highs, and that can get you good support resistance. So this is an hourly chart. You can see how that parallel off this high ended up getting this high right before the ECB, and since then, from 137 down just below 131. So is there any trades, kind of like this that might be setting up for early next week? Well, with Kiwi dollar breaking down, and of course we have our dollar yen analog from January 2014, which we've had some really good trades with this month, and it's been following it to a T very recently. So a much larger breakdown might be in the cards for the dollar yen. So let's combine that with the Kiwi dollar breakdown, and let's bring up Kiwi yen. Okay, similar kind of method of analysis here, right? With looking at the construct that we have with the pitchfork, not as well defined as far as the support resistance is concerned, but the market did have several touch points here, on this median line. So I do give it some weight. And just last week, the very end of last week, the market started trading below the median line. Okay, so doing something similar with what we did with euro yen, we can draw a parallel off these recent highs. Okay, and actually, if you do that and you look back, you can see that there are several touch points here as well. On this parallel, so I do give this one some serious weight. Okay, you've got touch points here, you've got touch points here, and of course you've got some touch points here. So what this means is that you can confidently short against the Thursday high of 89.31. So any early week bounce, if we get it, I would be looking to short. Let's bring up a daily chart, and you can see just how much downside potential there is here. Again, another construct here, this median line, which cuts through the July highs, consolidation around there, also cuts through the September high, consolidation here right before the final kind of blow off top, if you will. The bottom side of that now also becomes kind of resistance area. So put that around the Friday or the Thursday low, 88.47. And the Wednesday low of 88.95. This region, call it 88.40 to 88.90 or so, really does become kind of resistance early next week, and we've got RB and C next week. So I want to use any such move higher at all, any sort of bounce, however feeble it is, to get short against 89.31 to try to catch a much larger decline, potentially down towards the lows that we had in October here, 83.30. What was that? 83.35, and eventually 74.45, which is actually the June 2013 low. That would be a target because everything from here would compose a wedge. Okay, a final wedge. Elliottians would know it as an ending diagonal. The lines here actually kind of unorthodox because it's not wave. This is not a first wave here. Either way, the logic remains the same, in that you have a weak structure, into a high, final thrust higher. You look for that entire structure, that entire wedge or diagonal, whatever you want to call it, to be retraced. Okay, so that's what we're going to be looking to do early next week. Get into a Kiwi intro. I already have a short Kiwi dollar, and I think this thing could really fall apart. So until further notice, Kiwi is in a breakdown mode. Let's see if we can lay it on a little more with Kiwi yen. All right, thanks for watching.